It is mid-October and TU still hasn't played a home football game. The struggles the Golden Hurricane are running into because of coronavirus and when they might hit the field again. A record year for absentee ballots in Tulsa for this election. How many have already been returned and how the election board plans to keep up.
I mean, we look up to him. He's an extremely strong person just overall.
A Tulsa police officer shot in the line of duty returns home. How the community came together to honor Aresh Zarkashan.
Covering news that matters. Fox 23 News This Morning starts right now.
Good morning. I'm Ron Terrell. Michelle is off today. It's 4:30. Another game canceled for the TU football team. When they could finally play, Tulsa County officials warn of election delays as well. Why the pandemic is a big factor. Those stories ahead. First, meteorologist Michael Sager is in the Fox 23 Severe Weather Center tracking a cold start out there.
Yeah, it is a cold start for us. We've got temperatures right now mostly running into the 30s and 40s across Green Country.
Let's go now to our coronavirus coverage. Let's take a look at the latest numbers. Thursday, the Oklahoma Department of Health reported more than 1,200 new cases, bringing the state's running total since early March to more than 104,000. There are 11 newly reported COVID deaths. Oklahoma's death toll is up to 1,143. Active cases in Oklahoma are at 13,913. More than 2,200 of those are in Tulsa County. The first TU home football game will not be happening tomorrow as scheduled. It was postponed because of COVID-19 issues with their opponent, Cincinnati. Fox 23's Amanda Harry is live near 11th and Harvard with why the Golden Hurricane were really looking forward to this weekend.
Ron, Cincinnati is currently ranked 8th in the country. So if TU was to have pulled off this win, it would have been a big one at 5. Live in Tulsa, covering news that matters. Amanda Harry, Fox 23 News.
Now to You Decide 2020. The Tulsa County Election Board is asking for patience this election season with a record number of absentee ballots. Fox 23's Amanda Gilbert is live with why we should expect delays in seeing results next month.
Well, Ron, Oklahomans are used to knowing the results before they head to bed. But this year, with a very unusual year, we might need to be a little more patient. Polls close on Election Day, so that also can slow down the system with so many absentee ballots this year. What the election board's doing to work around that, I'll have that at 5. Covering news that matters, I'm Amanda Gilbert, Fox 23 News.
A record number of voters requesting absentee ballots, and now there's a big need for notaries. Each mail-in ballot must be notarized or include a copy of a valid ID. The Gable Gottwalls law firm wanted to help. They have an event next Wednesday in the Tulsa County Bar Association parking lot. All you need to do is bring your unsigned ballot, a valid ID, and a mask for protection to get your ballot notarized.
It's a very important election year, and we're here to help encourage the process and to make it easier.
If you don't want to get your ballot notarized, there is another option because of the pandemic. Voters can skip the notary and attach a photocopy of a valid ID or a voter ID card with their ballot instead. It is illegal for a notary to charge to notarize an official ballot. For a list of times and locations for notary events, check out the Fox 23 News app. Authorities in Arizona arrested a suspect in connection with a missing man from Bartlesville. Investigators say Dalen Thornton is accused of murder, fraud, and identity theft. This involves the case of Stephen Brashear, reported missing last December. Police found his remains after tracking his cell phone to the Tucson area. The suspect was originally accused of stealing the victim's car. A suspect is on the run after a deadly shooting in North Tulsa. We brought you this story as breaking news Thursday morning. Around midnight, officers were called to the scene near 36th and Delaware. Police say a friend of the victim got worried when she found a door open. Officers found the body of the 52-year-old victim in his garage. They say he had a gunshot wound. Happening now, you can still fill out your 2020 census questionnaire, but you need to hurry. You can still take care of it online at census.gov till 5 a.m. You just have about 25 more minutes. It takes less than 10 minutes to fill out, and an accurate count is important for a number of reasons. Among them, the numbers are used to help fairly distribute hundreds of billions of dollars in federal and state money for such needs as hospitals, highways, and school lunch programs. A video circulating on social media has caught the attention of Bixby police. It shows a teenage girl attacking a classmate. Fox 23's Amber Hughes heard from the district and the victim's lawyer.
It was a tip.
We're finding out about funeral arrangements for a 4th grader from Collinsville. 10-year-old Isabella Henderson passed away Monday night. She traveled to St. Jude for treatment after doctors diagnosed her with stage 4 cancer. Her family says you're welcome at Isabella's viewing and funeral. You're invited to wear Isabella t-shirts, Collinsville Cardinal t-shirts, and sports uniforms. Her viewing is at Maury's in Owasso from 4 to 8 tonight. Her funeral will be held at First Church Owasso tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock. The Tulsa Parks Department wants your input. The department is making sure its budget is used for the improvements you want to see. We spoke with Park Director Anna America, who said that they're asking people to share their thoughts on the features that would increase their enjoyment of Tulsa's parks and get them to visit more often.
The community, particularly around playgrounds and play amenities and, kind of what will make your park more fun and more useful for your neighborhood.
To get more information and share your thoughts, we've posted a link on the Fox 23 News app. Just look for this story. Right now at 4:40, we are dealing with some of the coldest temperatures we have seen so far this season. Meteorologist Michael Sager is tracking that cold start out there.
Yeah, how about this? We got that frost advisory still in effect here in about 10 minutes.
Right now, 4:41 is the time.
So I wanted to do something that was going to not just give me an excuse to move back, but so that I could do something worthwhile when I came back.
Jobs for new graduates in Tulsa, how a program is giving them a year in Tulsa to help them find the right career path.
There are no chains in this building. These are all local businesses.
Tulsa's mayor excited about a new coffee shop expanding in Tulsa. Why the owner decided to open a new location during a pandemic. Officer Aresh Zarkishan returns to Tulsa, the heartfelt words he has for the community that supported him.
All of Tulsa, thank you for everything you've done for me and my family, and Sergeant Johnson's family.
An emotional, exciting day in Tulsa celebrating Officer Aresh Zarkishan coming home. Fox 23 Scott Martin is live this morning with his message to the community.
Yeah, Ron, you heard him there. Officer Zarkishan, all he could say was thank you, thank you, thank you to Tulsa for all of the support. As you know, he's been in Colorado for 110 days. In East Tulsa this morning, covering news that matters. I'm Scott Martin, Fox 23 News.
Another business is opening a new location in downtown Tulsa, the grand opening of Topeka Coffee in the Vast Bank building near Elgin and Archer. Although owner John Gabarino is from Tulsa, his wife is from El Salvador. Her family's been growing coffee for 6 generations. Gabarino says this connection to the products makes Topeka special.
You can actually buy a cup of coffee from us that we as a family actually planted the seed, picked it, harvested it, processed it, imported it, roasted it, served it. That level of integration is really unique, and it gives us an opportunity to really fine-tune every element of it.
In addition to coffee, this location will also serve beer, wine, and cocktails. The new location is set to open to the public early next week. Right now at 4:47, it is a chilly start out there. You'll want to grab that coat perhaps in some spots. Meteorologist Michael Sager is tracking that cool start out there.
It's quite chilly we've got as we go into the middle of next week. Keeping an eye with what we've got out there this morning, though, as you're heading out for that morning drive, we'll get an hour-by-hour look in about 2 minutes.
Right now, 4:50. It took us ahead about an hour. 4:50 is the time. A new museum is in the works to honor our military. What the Navy National Museum will offer visitors.
It's second best to being able to hug everyone.
Thousands of faces virtually in Tulsa, the company that got creative to make sure they could all still interact. Happening today, thousands of people are virtually coming to Tulsa for a big leadership conference downtown. Senegent's Makeup is headquartered in Sapulpa. Normally, they bring in people from all over for their 3-day conference at the Cox Business Center. This year, they're adapting their big event into a virtual weekend.
That's really the challenge, anybody that's doing virtual right now, is how to get people engaged from their home and make them feel part of the community that they would normally feel when they're all together.
A challenge they met with a big solution. 2 giant screens will display thousands of virtual faces, giving speakers the chance to interact with their virtual audience. Rather than let all that work go to waste, Senegent is hoping to make the setup permanent for other businesses in the area to use. That is pretty cool. A new program aims to bring more college grads to Tulsa to become permanent members of our community. The Tulsa Service Year program matches college grads with careers in Tulsa, highlighting leadership, entrepreneurship, education, and the arts. It is a way to expand interest in our city and encourage new business. 13 students are part of this year's pilot program.
So the idea is just to bring all these people to Tulsa so that we can, bring a worldly approach to bettering our community.
The program was started by the George Kaiser Family Foundation and Cortez Family Foundation. If you want to learn more, we have a link to the website on the Fox 23 News app. Fox 23 visited with the Community Food Bank of Eastern Oklahoma as staff prepared backpacks for the group's weekly program, providing backpacks full of non-perishable food and snacks for kids to eat when they're not in school. The backpacks are provided through sponsorships with local businesses.
Just to know that those kiddos are getting fed on the weekends is so meaningful, because a lot of us, we never think about where our next meal is going to come from or if we're even going to have a meal.
The food bank takes in and distributes almost 3 million pounds of food across eastern Oklahoma every month. 4:55 is the time. TU has only played 2 football games this year because of COVID-19. It's mid-October when their now postponed home opener is expected to be played. Absentee ballots and potential delays in election results. Why officials warn you need to get yours filled out sooner rather than later.